I know I've said this before, but the reffing in the NFL continues to be horrible. Looking at all the games from Sunday, the reffing has just been bad, or even worse, from week 1. Here are 5 terrible calls that need to be addressed. Number 1, to start it off, it's of course the Chiefs, and it was a missed face mask call from their game versus the Falcons on Sunday night. Once again, the Chiefs are getting the benefit of the doubt from the refs. This should be a face mask, but shocker, it was not. I don't want to believe the idea of a conspiracy that the NFL is scripting and wants the Chiefs to win, but with all these calls benefiting KC, it's hard not to see it. They clearly missed the face mask call as Ray McCloud sprinted up the sideline with a chance to put the Falcons in the end zone. But they did not call it. I mean, even before the games, Mahomes was caught telling one of the refs, make sure not to call any holding penalties on us today. Number 2, early in the fourth quarter between the Saints and Eagles, a frightening moment occurred when Devontae Smith was tackled in the middle of the field and sandwiched between 2 Saints defenders, slumping to the ground without his helmet. As the play unfolded, Saints Peyton Turner dove directly at Smith's unprotected head, raising immediate concerns for player safety. Such a blatant and dangerous call is a clear violation of today's standards in the NFL. The league is supposedly protecting players from head injury, but it did not look like it there. This type of dirty play must be called. These next 2 are both from the Ravens versus Cowboys. Number 3 is the roughing the passer call. This was not roughing the passer. I'm sorry, Cowboys fans, it just was not. This ended up setting the Cowboys in great field position. Just a few plays later, the Dallas scored and trimmed the lead to 3. The Ravens ended up winning, but I mean, come on. It was 3rd and 10, and since it was incomplete, it would have set up 4th and long. Even Mike Pereira from Fox thought it was a bad call. During the final drive, Lamar Jackson looked at the camera and said, "Please." Number 4 is once again from the Ravens versus Cowboys game. It was in the second quarter and the Ravens were up 14-3. It was 3rd and long and the Ravens just sacked Prescott in the end zone, but he ended up throwing to guard Tyler Smith. However, Prescott was clearly down, so it should have been a safety, or it could have been called ineligible receiver downfield or intentional grounding, since there was no receiver in the area. Either way, it was a penalty and would have resulted in a safety. However, the refs called it illegal touching, which took the Ravens safety off the board and 2 points were lost. Later, Kyle Van Noy tweeted this saying, "Today I found out that if a quarterback is going down for a safety, you can just pass it to an O-lineman and you're good." What? Question mark? Lamar Jackson responded by saying, "It would have been a safety if I did that." Remember versus the Niners in week 16 of 2023 on Christmas? That shouldn't have been a safety, but they called it. Number 5, and last but not least, the non-pass interference call between the Chiefs and Falcons. You pretty much knew I was going to say that. Kirk Cousins threw it to Kyle Pitts in the end zone on 3rd down at the 6-yard line. It was clearly pass interference on Chiefs safety Brian Cook, as he did not look behind him. 9 out of 10 times, that's called pass interference. However, it was not called. The Falcons lost by 5 points. Even Chris Collinsworth thought this was a pass interference, and he glazes Mahomes more than Krispy Kreme. So, come on, guys. If that's PI, Atlanta gets the ball at the 1-yard line. They probably score and win the game. That's now 3 straight weeks where KC has benefited from terrible officiating or scripted officiating. I'm sorry, but it seems like it's just being rigged for the Chiefs right now. It's hard not to ignore that the NFL is setting things up for the Chiefs to win again, and they are not doing much to hide it, which is truly disappointing.